They're also mentioning in this letter to the judge why they find it very suspicious that Blake Lively is asking to see.
For years, Blake Lively has lived in the dazzling limelight as Hollywood's golden girl, seamlessly blending elegance and relatability into a persona that has long enchanted the public. From her breakout role in Gossip Girl to her high-profile marriage to Ryan Reynolds, she's remained a beloved figure in the entertainment world, a woman who seemingly could do no wrong. But in a turn of events that has rocked both fans and industry insiders alike, that carefully curated image may now be crumbling. A lawsuit filed by actor-director Justin Baldoni has pulled back the velvet curtain, exposing a side of Lively that few suspected existed. What started as a behind-the-scenes legal dispute over creative control has evolved into a full-blown scandal, threatening to redefine the very essence of who Blake Lively is in the eyes of the public. As damning court documents are unsealed, accusations of manipulation, deception, and outright fabrication are surfacing, and the world is beginning to see cracks in the pristine facade of Hollywood's sweetheart. The most explosive revelation? Thus far, Lively is alleged to have seized control of the post-production process for the film It Ends With Us, ousting Baldoni and his editorial team to impose her own creative vision. According to Baldoni's legal team, she didn't just offer input, she took over. She reportedly filmed key scenes without consultation and edited the movie to suit her preferences. And now, as legal proceedings escalate, her camp continues to insist that she needs more time to review the very footage she allegedly directed and edited herself. The contradiction is staggering, and Baldoni's lawyer, the formidable Bryan Freedman, is calling her out. She keeps talking about evidence, Freedman stated in a recent interview, but she has no evidence, and she knows it. He added, "We have the video footage. We have the emails. We have the text messages. What does she have?" Indeed, as the legal battle intensifies, the focus has shifted from artistic disagreements to a deeper examination of Lively's credibility. In bombshell filings, Freedman outlines an elaborate scheme to delay legal accountability. A pivotal example came when Lively's team claimed they needed to sift through a staggering 50,000 hours of footage before proceeding with her deposition. But this claim was swiftly debunked when the production team clarified that only 150 hours of footage existed, filmed over just 37 days. The gap between the claim and reality wasn't just a mistake, it appeared to be an intentional misrepresentation. And that's just the beginning. Documents submitted by Baldoni's legal team paint a picture of calculated obstruction. Initially, Lively's deposition was scheduled for June 23rd, then it was pushed to July 17th, and now even that date appears tenuous. Freedman accused Lively's team of failing to provide viable alternatives after claiming scheduling conflicts. Instead, her lawyers were reportedly focused on issuing subpoenas to third-party influencers and content creators, some of whom had publicly commented on the case. The strategy, in Freedman's words, was clear: delay, distract, and discredit. One of Baldoni's attorneys, Kevin Fritz, submitted a declaration stating that even after repeated attempts, Lively's team failed to coordinate on a new deposition date. Meanwhile, subpoenas were being fired off to unrelated publicists and YouTubers, suggesting a smear campaign was being orchestrated behind the scenes. This legal entanglement doesn't just threaten to disrupt Lively's professional projects, it threatens to obliterate her image. For years, Lively has been praised for her philanthropic efforts, her candid humor in interviews, and her seemingly effortless balance between motherhood and megastardom. Fans pointed to her visits to children's hospitals, her charity work, and her witty Instagram posts as proof that she was the real deal, famous but grounded. But in the glare of legal scrutiny, even these gestures are being re-examined. Is it possible that what many saw as heartfelt was actually calculated PR? Some critics point to previous instances that, while subtle at the time, now seem to foreshadow the current scandal. There was the awkward moment in an interview when Lively credited Reynolds as a feminist icon but stumbled to articulate her own stance on women's rights. Then there were murmurs from insiders suggesting that her public support for women's issues contrasted starkly with private behavior described as obsessive and controlling. Each of these instances seemed inconsequential when they occurred, odd blips in an otherwise flawless narrative, but viewed through the lens of recent events, they appear to be part of a larger pattern. At the heart of this drama is the question of identity. Is Blake Lively the warm, philanthropic icon she's portrayed as for over a decade? Or is she, as some are now suggesting, a master manipulator who has weaponized charm and image to maintain control and evade accountability? The courtroom, it seems, may finally provide answers. Baldoni, for his part, has remained focused on vindication. In interviews, his legal team has emphasized that this isn't about revenge, it's about truth. Freedman, with his no-nonsense approach, declared that Lively would be questioned under penalty of perjury and that the truth would emerge through hard evidence, not spin. One of the most chilling moments in this ongoing saga came when it was revealed through court documents that Lively had in fact reviewed the footage she claimed to need time for. Not only that, but she had personally overseen and edited it. This revelation undermined her team's entire justification for delay and gave Baldoni's team an opening to accuse her of deliberate obfuscation. As these contradictions mount, so too do the stakes. Hollywood may be no stranger to scandal, but this case strikes at the core of what makes celebrities untouchable, the myth of authenticity. When the lines between performance and reality blur, who are we really looking at? Public interest in the case has reached a fever pitch. Media outlets like TMZ, People, and even legal watchdogs have been tracking every twist and turn. Paris Hilton, Candace Owens, and YouTubers with massive followings have all been subpoenaed or dragged into the discourse. Some, like Hilton, are even named in filings that suggest a coordinated media campaign was launched to shape public perception. Whether or not these allegations hold legal weight, the optics are damning. It now seems that nearly everyone who's commented on Lively's conduct is being scrutinized. The implications are broader than just one actress. They cut into the heart of celebrity culture itself. And then there's Ryan Reynolds. Though not a party to the lawsuit, his proximity to the scandal is unavoidable. Multiple sources have claimed that Lively's legal team considers Reynolds a distraction and has asked him to stay away from deposition proceedings. The actor, reportedly torn but cooperative, agreed to let his wife face the fire alone. Yet rumors persist that he may have played a role in shaping Lively's strategy behind the scenes. One source said bluntly, "This is Ryan's fight. He's pulling the strings." True or not, the speculation adds another layer of intrigue. As of now, the trial is scheduled for March 2026. Lively is expected to testify, and if Freedman gets his way, her deposition will expose further inconsistencies. Her legal team maintains that she is ready and willing to take the stand, insisting that her story will hold up under scrutiny. But critics remain skeptical. The sheer volume of conflicting statements and exaggerated claims has already damaged her credibility. And with Baldoni's team amassing what they describe as a mountain of emails, texts, and video evidence, the odds appear to be shifting. Ultimately, this case is about more than just one lawsuit. It's about trust. Can the public continue to believe in the personas that Hollywood markets so effectively? Or will this trial mark the beginning of a more skeptical, more discerning era of celebrity scrutiny? As Lively's courtroom drama unfolds, it's clear that the outcome will reverberate far beyond her own career. For an actress who has spent over a decade mastering the art of public image. The coming months may prove to be her greatest performance yet, or her final act.
The reason why I did that now so much later, and also because it took me a while, to be honest with you, it took me a while to actually get over it.
The courtroom was never meant to be a stage, but in the case of Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni, it became the theater of unraveling truths. As whispers turned into headlines and legal filings became public fodder, one thing grew increasingly evident. This wasn't just a legal battle. It was a war of images, power, and public manipulation. What had begun as an explosive set of allegations from America's golden girl had now taken a sinister turn. Beneath the gloss of Hollywood smiles and public sympathy, the foundations of Lively's claims were showing signs of collapse, and the cracks were spreading fast. The first seismic shift came when Justin Baldoni's legal team, led by the relentless Freedman, unearthed glaring inconsistencies in Blake's timeline. Her legal claim leaned heavily on needing extensive time to review supposedly 50,000 hours of raw footage from the film It Ends. With Us, that number alone raised immediate suspicion. 50,000 hours. To put it plainly, that would be more than 5.5 years of continuous footage. The courtroom didn't need expert mathematicians to call foul. Baldoni's team swiftly pulled back the curtain, revealing that the entire film was shot in just 37 days, with less than 150 total hours of footage recorded, an industry-standard amount, if not less. But it wasn't just the math that didn't add up. What made the court's collective eyebrows rise was a deeper truth. Blake had already seen the footage. Not just seen it, she had edited it herself. Multiple affidavits, including statements from the film's production crew, confirmed that Blake had hands-on control over several cuts. She was known to be meticulous, involved in every stage of the creative process, from staging to reshoots. So when her legal team claimed she couldn't proceed with her deposition without reviewing footage she had helped shape, the entire courtroom knew something wasn't right. In a sharp rebuttal, Freedman laid it out plainly before the judge. If she was there, lived it, and then personally edited it, what could possibly need reviewing? Unless she's hoping to rewrite history. That line didn't just resonate in the courtroom. It echoed through tabloids, Reddit threads, Twitter, or rather X, and legal analysis podcasts across the country. The defense continued their offensive, refusing to let the narrative slip back into Blake's carefully curated version. They introduced text messages and emails between Lively's camp and production staff that hinted at efforts to manipulate the presentation of the film, and even potentially the narrative surrounding the alleged misconduct. One message stood out for its cold simplicity: "We can bury anyone, just give me time." Though vague, it raised the stakes of the courtroom drama from a question of what happened to what are they hiding. Still, Blake's legal team fought tooth and nail to stall the proceedings. They delayed her deposition once, then again, citing increasingly implausible reasons. The judge, originally sympathetic, began to grow visibly frustrated. When her team attempted to push the deposition deadline yet again, claiming that not enough time had been given to analyze the footage, the judge finally intervened. "Let's stop pretending the footage is a mystery. Ms. Lively edited it. She doesn't need to review what she created." The prosecution didn't stop there. They began to connect the dots, lining up witnesses who systematically dismantled Blake's original claims. A production assistant who had been present on set during the alleged harassment painted a very different picture from what Blake described. Instead of being a passive victim, she was, according to sworn testimony, a commanding figure on set, staging, approving, and at times, even requesting reshoots of the very scenes she would later criticize as being exploitative. And then came the blow that altered the tone of the entire trial. A post-production editor's sworn testimony that Blake had not only been present during final cuts, but had provided precise direction on how intimacy should be portrayed. She told us, the editor testified, "Let's push the chemistry, but keep it classy. Make it feel real, but elevated." This wasn't just creative involvement. It was curating tone, mood, and story, all of which Blake now disavowed. Emails provided as evidence backed up these claims. One read, "That scene is good, but it's not intimate enough. Try the tighter angle from take 3. The courtroom stirred audibly when that line was read aloud." This wasn't vague direction. It was executive-level command. And for the first time, cracks appeared in Blake's demeanor. Gone was the confident, camera-ready grace she brought to public appearances. In its place was a woman, clearly uncomfortable, shifting in her chair, whispering frantically to her attorneys as evidence mounted around her. The press noted it. The jury noted it. And more importantly,